Hello and welcome to Corporate Connect. I'm Jane King at the NASDAQ market site in Times Square, and with me today, Dr. Daniel Teper, the CEO of Immune Pharmaceuticals. Welcome.
Good morning, Jane.
Good morning. And let's start with you. Recently announced an oncology subsidiary of Immune Pharmaceuticals called Cytovia. So tell us about that. How will it be financed? What's your strategy with Cytovia?
Jane, as you know, Immune Pharmaceutical has a diverse, pipeline, and we felt that it was time to, fully fund the oncology pipeline. So we're establishing immediately, Cytovia as a distinct subsidiary with its own management team and its own financing. With the existing, oncology pipeline that we have, the lead product, being Cyplin, which we've announced we're putting back into further development with exciting new clinical studies.
Okay, now you just mentioned Cyplin is the key product, right? The lead product for Cytovia, and there's an international symposium that you'll be going to in Munich. What is the focus there of the communication when you go to Munich and Cyplin?
Well, Cyplin has been on the market in Europe for a number of years. It hasn't been actively commercialized, and it's only recently, Meda, who owns the rights in Europe, came with phase 4 data that was pretty compelling and reinforced the earlier data in leukemia-free survival that supported the European approval. So in Munich, some of the leading European key opinion leaders are going to share their conviction on the role of Cyplin in combination with low-dose Proleukin, interleukin-2, in remission maintenance of acute myeloid leukemia, which is an area of tremendous medical need. So I think it's important to establish that the Cyplin low-dose Proleukin combination is today the treatment with the most evidence for remission maintenance in AML. So that's going to be an important milestone. At the same time, we're announcing Remain for remission maintenance in acute myeloid leukemia. That's an international study that will take place both in the US and internationally in Europe and beyond. And it will look at one more level of evidence, which is Cyplin plus low-dose Proleukin against low-dose Proleukin, with overall survival as the ultimate endpoint, but also an intermediate endpoint of leukemia-free survival. We believe, and based on our dialogue with the FDA, that this will support approval in the US, so beyond the approval in Europe, also approval in the US.
So I understand Cyplin has orphan designation in the US.
Yes, and that's very important because Cyplin has been in development for a long time. So the orphan drug designation allows for 7 years exclusivity post-approval in the US. In addition to the orphan drug exclusivity, we have a development plan to create new IP, and that's very important, and that includes drug device combinations. So it creates new exclusivity for the product, going potentially beyond the 7 years, the initial 7 years.
Okay, and then also the key drivers of value for Cytovia, what are those, and how will Immune Pharma shareholders benefit from that?
So as I said, Cytovia is a new company. It's established as a subsidiary. It has the potential of being a spin-off company.
Okay.
Immune will be a substantial, shareholder of that company, but not the only shareholder. In coming months, it will be funded through a combination of institutional investors and partnership, including commercial partnership. I said that we have a full pipeline. We also have potential acquisitions in the making. So we have a pipeline that starts from preclinical with the exciting bispecific antibody, has several clinical assets, the most advanced being Cyplin in the US. And we're also looking at partnership that would give us access to commercial products. So really what you're going to see is Cytovia as a fully integrated biopharmaceutical company where Immune Pharma will be a key anchor shareholder. So I do the Immune shareholders benefit. They benefit by the value that's being created without dilution in Cytovia. And they can also potentially benefit if Immune allows to dividend shares into the subsidiary. So at that time they'll be benefiting from Cytovia through Immune as well as directly becoming shareholders of Cytovia.
Of Cytovia. Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Teper, for sharing that and your new strategies and business development, and best of luck to you.
Thank you.
And thank you as well for joining us on Corporate Connect. I'm Jane King at the NASDAQ Market Site.